Welcome to Dark Character Profiler. Take a deep dive into the background and personalities of villains from books, video games, manga, and comics. Psychological analysis of some of the most deviant and heinous characters of all time. Now, here's Fulcrum.
Before we get started, I wanted to give a big shout out to my amazing dad for helping me craft the perfect intro and outro for my podcast. Your creativity and support mean the world to me. And for everyone tuning in, don't forget to check out his incredible show, The Never Ending Radio Show, bringing you timeless music and timeless principles. His show is linked in the description below. Thanks, Dad, for always inspiring and helping me elevate my game. The usually comforting aroma of coffee turned sickly sweet, almost nauseating. I'd been lost in my book, a silly romance about a baker and a prince, trying to ignore the gnawing emptiness in my stomach. Then she sat down. Rize Kamishiro. Beautiful. That was the first and most misleading impression. Her long, flowing purple hair cascaded down her shoulders, framing a face that could launch 1,000 ships, or, in this case, lure unsuspecting prey. Her crimson eyes, though, held an unsettling depth, a predatory gleam that made the hairs on my arms stand on end. There was definitely something off about her. She ordered something I couldn't quite hear, her voice a soft, melodic purr. It was the way she ordered, the almost casual flick of her wrist, the way her gaze lingered a beat too long on the waitress's neck that sent a chill down my spine. It wasn't attraction, not at all. It was something else, something primal. The air in the cafe seemed to thicken, the chatter of the other patrons fading into a dull hum. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the sudden, suffocating silence in my ears. I knew with a certainty that chilled me to the bone that she wasn't human. It was in the subtle shift of her features, the almost imperceptible elongation of her canines as she smiled, a smile that promised not pleasure but pain. It was in the scent clinging to her, a metallic tang that mingled with the sweet perfume, a scent that spoke of blood and something far more monstrous. Fear, raw and visceral, gripped me. This wasn't just a beautiful woman. This was a ghoul, and I was her prey. Rize Kamishiro was born as a ghoul. Her appearance is attractive with long purple hair, and she exuded a seemingly innocent demeanor. She lived a nomadic life in Tokyo, moving from place to place or ward to ward, as they call it in the manga and the anime. Eventually, she was taken in by Matasaka Kamishiro, and she ended up taking on his family name as a result. At one point, she would come to be known as a binge eater, meaning she had an uncontrollable hunger, an insatiable appetite. She would overindulge in flesh. To her, it wasn't just about killing for food, as ghouls really only need to eat about once a month or so. It was more about the pleasure of the hunt for her. This would ultimately strain her relationship with Matasaka. At one point, she ended up being killed during an attempt to eat the main character of Tokyo Ghoul, Ken Kaneki. Ken was then taken into surgery where Rize's kakuho, also known as her ghoul organ, which makes someone into a ghoul, was transplanted into him, ultimately turning him into a half-ghoul. Now that we've explored Rize's origins, it's time to get into the heart of the matter, her personality. Trust me, this is where things get really interesting. Rize's personality traits are highly indicative of her final analysis. She is very manipulative and seductive. She's highly aware of her attractiveness and uses that to her advantage by luring her prey using her charm and beauty, making them vulnerable before revealing her true nature. She's extremely voracious. As a ghoul, she has a strong hunger for human flesh. She's very independent and self-reliant. She definitely prefers to hunt and survive on her own rather than relying on others. She's enigmatic and mysterious. She keeps her true intentions hidden, making herself very mysterious to those around her. She leaves a lasting impression on others, even in the briefest of interactions. She's also very sadistic and cruel. She enjoys the thrill of the hunt. She takes pleasure in inflicting pain and fear on her victims. She revels in the despair of those she is about to kill. She's also very restless and bored. She clearly lacks ambition beyond satisfying her hunger. She wanders from place to place, seeking excitement and stimulation to alleviate her boredom. Like I said before, these are all very indicative of what her final analysis will come out to be. We've explored the depths of Rize's personality, but the journey isn't over yet. Next, we face the moment of truth, the poll review, the evidence, and the final definitive analysis. The answers are coming. This podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only. While we use the DSM-5 as a framework to provide psychological analyses of fictional characters, the discussions are not intended to diagnose, treat, or provide professional mental health advice. The interpretations shared are based on hypothetical scenarios and creative exploration and should not be applied to actual individuals or situations. For mental health concerns or diagnoses, please consult a licensed professional. Listener discretion is advised. We're diving deep into the psychology of Rize Kamishiro today, and you, our listeners, have already weighed in. The poll results are in. Antisocial personality disorder is the frontrunner, followed by other and a few votes for sexual sadism disorder. No love for narcissistic personality disorder, it seems. But are you right? We're going to break down Rize's actions and the evidence piece by piece to see if your predictions hold up. Don't go anywhere as we continue our delve into this complex case. The evidence against Rize Kamishiro is staggeringly overwhelming in support of her final analysis. She brutally hunts and kills humans without remorse. She often manipulates and lures victims with a charming facade. Her actions are often driven by immediate desires with little thought for consequences. While she can be charming, she's quick to become violent when thwarted. She shows absolutely no guilt or empathy for her victims. She acts on her desires without considering the long-term consequences. Her predatory nature involves violence, and she doesn't hesitate to use force to get what she wants. Her actions demonstrate a complete disregard for the safety of her victims. She also puts herself at risk, though her ghoul abilities offer a degree of protection. And finally, her focus is solely on satisfying her hunger and pursuing her predatory goals. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the culmination of our investigation, the final verdict, Rize Kamishiro's final analysis. Stay tuned at the end of this episode to get a glimpse of the audiobook, A Kingdom of Ash and Steam, The Ogress's Son, an action-adventure, sci-fi, and steampunk novel written by Paige Zaplendam and narrated by Rich Fraser. A link to the audiobook will also be provided in the episode description. Rize Kamishiro's final analysis ultimately came out to be antisocial personality disorder. Antisocial personality disorder is a pervasive pattern of disregard for and violation of the rights of others occurring since age 15. The individual is at least 18 years old. There is evidence of conduct disorder with onset before age 15 years old, and the occurrence of antisocial behavior is not exclusively during the course of schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. We can safely say that Rize did not experience schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. Conduct disorder is a repetitive and persistent pattern of behavior in which the basic rights of others or major appropriate societal norms or rules are violated, including aggression toward other people and animals, destruction of property, deceitfulness or theft, and serious violation of rules. While there is not enough information about Rize's childhood to know whether conduct disorder applies, we do know that at some point during her childhood, she did leave home and would wander from place to place until she was taken in by Matasaka. We're nearing the end of our exploration of Rize Kamishiro, but there are still a few pieces of the puzzle left to uncover. These final facts offer a new perspective on her motivations and actions, and they'll definitely leave you thinking. Rize was born to the Washu clan, which was a powerful and influential family in the Ghoul community. She was actually an illegitimate child within the clan, which would ultimately affect her standing with the clan. Due to this, she decided to escape from the family compound and would wander the streets of Tokyo, going from ward to ward, until she was ultimately taken in by Matasaka, who she considered to be her foster father. And that brings us to the end of our discussion on Rize Kamishiro. From her manipulative charm to her violent tendencies, Rize's case offers a chilling glimpse into the complexities of antisocial personality disorder. Thank you for joining me as we unpacked this disturbing but fascinating story. I appreciate you taking the time to explore these topics with me. Until next time.
Humanity was not meant to live this way. Society is left to the mercy of murderers and cutthroats. Hear Paige Zaplin Dam's epic tale brought to life in an audiobook.
For years, Slade had felt secure in the forest.
I am from simple, humble beginnings. I was raised in the Ironwood by an Ogress, an Anaral.
He saw immediately that she was beyond a healer's aid. Even a skilled witch could not help her recover from losing so much blood.
Mother? Slade thought he wanted revenge. Instead, he got redemption. A kingdom of ash and steam. The Ogress's Son. A dystopian neo-Dark Age fantasy. Narrated by Rich Fraser. Now available on iTunes and Audible.
I promise you I will find whoever did this and avenge you, Mother.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. I truly appreciate your support. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave a comment or review. It helps more listeners discover the podcast. And don't forget to check out the poll linked below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the next episode. All references for this episode are listed in the description, so feel free to explore further. You can also follow us on Instagram or X. You can also join our Discord channel to stay connected and join the conversation. All are linked in the episode description below. Until next time, take care and keep exploring.
Thank you for listening to Dark Character Profiler with Fulcrum. Listen every other Tuesday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Podcasts.